alternative, outrage, and mystery of the week, Dr. Bob Martin Show, Sundays at 10 a.m.
Talk 1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network. Talk health, talk wealth, talk politics, talk 1470 and 95.3 FM WNN.
All County Healthcare, Inc. is locally owned and operated, serving the Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward counties for the last 25 years. The practice of medicine is changing dramatically. All County Healthcare, Inc. still does it the old-fashioned way, where our nurses and healthcare professionals come into your home to service your medical needs, providing you the fastest and best care possible. For more information, call 954-717-7027. And remember, Medicare Home Care is covered by Part A of Medicare with no out-of-pocket cost to you. It's your decision, and only your decision, on what healthcare agency you use. Call today. All County Home Health Care, Inc. at 954-717-7027. License 200999096. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Amp2.tv presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Hello, South Florida and beyond, and welcome to the You and Your Doctor Show, living a longer and healthier life. And tonight, as always, we have a great health adventure to take you on. Broward, Miami-Dade, and Palm Beach County. We don't have any doctors on tonight, but we have some great organizations joining the program. We're going to start with the Pride Center at Equality Park. They're out of Wilton Manors, and their CEO is with us, and he's a board member at Florida Medical Center. And then at 6:30, we're having Rebecca Hayesi on the program. She's the Community Development Director for the South Florida chapter of the American Parkinson's Disease Association. So we're going to give out a lot of information in the next hour, so stay tuned. As always, if you have any questions, 1-888-565-1470. I'll try to get your questions in front of the guests, or you can hit me up on All County Healthcare Incorporated's Facebook Live page, where we're actually trending right now. And just want to say thank you to All County Healthcare for sponsoring the show. Again, if you have any home health care, Medicare certified agency questions, it's 1-888-717-710. You can ask to be transferred to Maddie, and she can answer your questions. I'll give out her info a little while later in the show as well. But without further ado, I want to welcome to the program Mr. Robert Boo. Mr. Robert Boo, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm fantastic, and I'm so happy to have you on the program because you come highly recommended from Mr. Trey Abshire, CEO of Florida Medical Center, who everyone knows from this program. So I really appreciate you joining us. So the Pride Center at Equality Park, great website. I've kind of got to know you through the website. I actually haven't been to the venue, but tell us a little bit about the Pride Center. It's in Broward County, which is right over our border, but we broadcast there. Everyone knows we have a lot of doctors on from Broward and Miami-Dade as well. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit. You're in Wilton Manors.
Yes, we own a 5.5-acre campus right in the middle of Wilton Manors on Old Dixie Highway. And we purchased this campus back in 2008, right before the financial collapse. And so it was all just kind of the stars were lined up for us to be able to get this. Our agency will be celebrating our 25th anniversary this June. And our whole intent when we purchased the campus was to create this campus of care. Multiple services, multiple organizations providing services to the LGBT community and our friends and neighbors here in South Florida. So It's been a very exciting. I've been associated with the center for the last 12 years, so it's been a great passion project for me, and we're very excited about all the growth we've experienced and the future growth we're going to go through over the next several years.
Well, congratulations on the 25th anniversary of the Pride Center at Equality Park. That's great news.
Yeah.
So where was it before? Was it in the Wilton Manors community before that? Or
Well, actually, it had been over in Fort Lauderdale on Andrews Avenue. And when I started with the agency, it was just this very tiny, small organization. And I had left my previous corporate career actually in healthcare for 20 plus years. And so I decided that I needed to follow my passions. And so I ended up with the center, and then we continued to grow. And I was the 5th employee to be on payroll. Otherwise, it was all volunteer run. And now we have 40 paid staff.
Oh, fantastic.
So we've continued to grow, and there are 9 other organizations that office on our campus, and then 60 groups and organizations utilize our meeting room space on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. So we usually have about 1,000 to 2,000 people a day step foot on Equality Park.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
And you said it's 5.5 acres.
5.5 acres. Yes, it's
Prime real estate.
Shaped like the state of Florida, and we actually have waterfront. We are on the Middle River, because Wilton Manors is an island, and so yeah, we're the only LGBT community center in the nation that has waterfront. I'm claiming that 135 feet of waterfront.
Nice. Must be good for events or parties.
It's unfinished grassy knoll right now, and unfortunately, because of Dixie Highway and the railroad tracks, a big boat can't get to it, but you can canoe or kayak or
Neat.
paddleboard.
Yeah, I'll have to take a ride by there. I just want to say Mr. Boo has a great radio voice. It's like a booming voice. We don't even have to tell you to talk loud.
No, that's not a problem.
No, definitely. And he has the best cufflinks that we've had on the show ever. Look at those. You said, fun fact about you, you're an owner of 600 cufflinks pairs.
Oh, well, let's just broadcast that. Yeah, I collect antique cufflinks, and all my friends and everyone knows. And we actually have a flea market on Equality Park the first Saturday of every month. And so we have over 100 vendors that come on. And so they all know when they see me to get out their cufflinks, because I'm a sucker for them.
Nice.
Yeah.
I own 1 pair of cufflinks, and they are guitar picks with my initials on them, but I didn't wear them tonight. Next time I have you on the program,
next time
I'm going to definitely wear them.
I'll fix you up with some good cufflinks.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll have to check out the flea market. You said it's the first Saturday of every month?
First Saturday of every month from 8 till 2 during the season, 8 to 1 during the off season.
Oh, that's a great time. 820, you said about 100 vendors.
100 vendors, whoa. Indoor, outdoor. We have easily 1,000 to 2,000 people come and check out, trash to treasure. It's everything you could ever think of.
No, I love markets. Everyone knows, the listeners, I actually participate in the Delray Green Market every Saturday.
Ah, okay.
92 right over here in Delray Beach, our next door neighbor here, Boca Raton. And I think it's great whenever you can, buy stuff from local vendors. Mm-hmm. There's just something, you get something more. It's just, I don't know what it is.
Absolutely.
I love it, though. I shop there every week. True story.
True story.
So let's talk a little bit more about the Pride Center. I know there's, you kind of glossed it, but the surface there, but there's a lot of initiatives that you were involved in at the Pride Center. And I was looking at the website the last few days. Very, very good website. I'm going to give it out now. I'll give it out a couple times. PrideCenterFlorida.org. Take a look. Their mission is they provide a welcoming, safe space, an inclusive home that celebrates, nurtures, and empowers the LGBTQ communities and our friends and neighbors in South Florida. Great mission statement there.
Thank you,
Mr. Boo. But talk a little bit more about the initiatives, because I actually know you through your connections at Florida Medical Center, which we'll get to in a second. But
sure.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on lately at the Pride Center.
The agency really has grown out of the HIV crisis. We started back in 1993 in the founder, Edward Allen Schubert's house. And back when the organization was just forming, there was the HIV and AIDS crisis, and there was lots of support that was required. And so when I started with the agency in 2006, we had a number of contracts with the Department of Health of Broward County for HIV testing, education, and then those have continued to grow through the years, especially during the recession. We acquired more contracts and more services as other agencies were not able to deliver their deliverables. And so now we actually have several contracts and grants reaching out to communities of color. Communities of color are disproportionately impacted by HIV. And then because of the great work that we've done in that area, we actually have a grant to go into 7 of the Broward County high schools and do outreach to the high school students of color, men who have sex with men, and do HIV prevention and education.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, it really has grown over the years, and then we've added more and more services. We have our Women with Pride program where we have specifically reached out to the LBT community, and because of that work, we have created the LBT Health Directory. And on that directory, we have over 300 healthcare providers who we have deemed culturally proficient to work with the LBT community. Unfortunately, LBT community is not always comfortable about talking with their physicians about their personal habits and their sex life and what they do or don't do. And so then they tend not to go. And so we wanted to create that safe space, knowing that these healthcare providers have already been vetted and deemed culturally proficient.
I saw that banner on your website the other day, and I didn't know it was 300 that you've approved. That's fantastic.
It continues to grow. We also have the nation's largest senior LGBT program.
Seniors, definitely.
So, every week, today's Tuesday. So this morning we had our key program that we do weekly. It's called Coffee and Conversation. And it started off years ago of just a group of 12 people getting together. We now have over 200 people that come for this program. And the first hour is strictly social. People sitting in our big main hall and sitting around tables, talking, kibitzing, gossiping. Because for some of the seniors, isolation is one of the huge issues. They stay in their apartment. They don't have access.
Isn't that unfortunate?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. And some of the seniors didn't come out until they were older, after they already had a marriage and had children. And so now they've come out. And one of the problems is that once a senior has come out and experienced being out and about, many times they have to go back into the closet because not all of the skilled care or assisted living centers and even some of the independent communities are culturally proficient in working with the LGBT community. So we've done, over the last 10 years, worked on creating partnerships and collaborations with service providers to help them ensure that their staff, as well as the CEO suite, is culturally proficient in working with LGBT seniors so they don't have to go back into the closet.
You are a busy man, and your staff over there at the Pride Center, you're doing some great things, staying busy.
Yeah, we're a little busy. We're a little busy. So, yeah. And
Just go to the website, take a look. I mean, there's things going on left and right. I'm reading about the Life program, a cruise on Royal Caribbean. It's sold out, by the way.
It's sold out.
So
Sorry.
you have to get on the next one. Florida AIDS Walk. It's just great website. I love websites like this when you get a ton of information quickly. Yeah, check it out. Florida, or actually pridecenterflorida.org. I'm on it right now. And you actually produce a newspaper, and I like that because everyone knows I'm a former newspaper reporter.
Yeah. We do this publication. We send out about 15,000 copies, hard copies, into the Tri-County area to 350 distribution sites. It goes as an insert to the South Florida Gay News. And then we do a direct mail to our founders who are highest level of membership. And then electronically, you can download it, and we send it out to the entire community in the Tri-County area.
It's a good-looking paper.
Thank you. My CEO, Christopher Fegenbush, works on this, and it is one of those necessities for communicating, but it takes a lot of work to put this puppy together, as you well know, since you
It's
are
tough.
newspaper in the past. So, yeah, it's a lot of work that goes into it.
Nice and great job. Hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break, and on the other side, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to get involved at the Pride Center, or Mr. Boo is, and his collaboration with Florida Medical Center on the Living a Longer and Healthier Life show. Finn.
All County Healthcare, Inc. is locally owned and operated, serving the Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward counties for the last 25 years. The practice of medicine is changing dramatically. All County Healthcare, Inc. still does it the old-fashioned way, where our nurses and healthcare professionals come into your home to service your medical needs, providing you the fastest and best care possible. For more information, call 954-717-7027. And remember, Medicare Home Care is covered by Part A of Medicare with no out-of-pocket cost to you. It's your decision, and only your decision, on what healthcare agency you use. Call today. All County Home Health Care, Inc. at 954-717-7027. License 200999096.
Getting older is not for sissies. That's what one of my patients says. And it's funny, but it's true. Live long enough and you'll get arthritis, skin cancer, probably one of the common chronic diseases like CHF, COPD, diabetes. At All County Healthcare, we teach you how to manage your disease. We make sure you know how to take your medications and how to recognize signs and symptoms before requiring hospitalization, no matter how many visits it takes. You didn't move to Florida to be sick. You moved here to enjoy the rest of your life. And that's exactly what our team of nurses, therapists, and aides at All County Healthcare help you do.
You are listening to You and Your Doctor, Living Longer and Healthier, an informative show that helps you find answers to questions you always wanted to ask, but did not have that somebody that could make a difference in your life. Call into the show if you have a question at 888-565-1470, and we will put you on the air to inform all our listeners. Now, back to our show.
And we're back. We have Mr. Robert Boo from the Pride Center at Equality Park here on the program tonight, and he's also a board member at Florida Medical Center. If you have any questions, he's here till 6:31, 888-565-1470, or I see you watching on All County Healthcare's Facebook Live page. I see you there, and just type in the comments, and if it's appropriate, I will try and get it on the air. I have to say that because you never know.
No,
Sometimes
I know.
We have a lot of doctors on this show, and sometimes they get some odd questions. But Mr. Boo's not a doctor, but like he said before, 300 healthcare approved,
culturally proficient healthcare providers for the LBT community.
I'm going to write that down this time and get it right. And it's pridecenterflorida.org. We were talking a little bit before the break. You have a membership base. So how do community members get involved first at the Pride Center and then take it to another level in membership?
Sure. We provide multiple ways that community members can get involved with the center. They first were very heavily driven with volunteers. For many of our programs, it's peer-to-peer volunteer coordinators and who are providing the Life program or Choices program, which is working specifically with individuals who are HIV positive, to answering the phone. Our reception desk is manned by volunteers the entire time. But one of our revenue streams is membership. And on an annual basis, through membership, we bring in about $500,000 of unrestricted funds. You can join at the individual senior citizen or student level at $25, all the way up through our founders. And our founders are our highest level members and individuals and businesses who support the center, donating $1,200, $2,500, $5,000, $10,000 on up on an annual basis. And it's great to have that type of revenue because grants are very restrictive. You can only use them for some specific very specific expenses, whereas grants don't cover all of the expenses that we need to do to provide our free services and programs to the community. So the membership is a great way for us to supplement the grants.
That's a good point, but I have to ask you, does membership have its privileges?
Well, we do have a program for a membership. You get your membership card, and we have an agreement with a number of other businesses that will provide a discount
Nice.
once you show your membership card. And
Everyone loves
all
that.
of that information is on our website, pridecenterflorida.org.
I'll tell you, people love that, and businesses love that too because it gets them in the door, and
Yeah,
they may
yeah.
buy some items that normally, maybe aren't selling that time of the year. So it gets people in the door.
Yep.
And they love it. I know because I know a lot of business owners. Let's talk a little bit about your collaboration with Florida Medical Center, a campus in North Shore over on Oakland Park Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. I know you come highly recommended by CEO of a hospital to come on this show. He said, get Mr. Robert Boo on this show. Listen to me, David. Book him. And I did.
Do I owe him money? I'm trying to think. I'll have to check.
And Andre Escoffery, too, over there as well. He said, David, Mr. Boo's taller than me. And I like to tell everyone I'm 6'1", but I'm really not. But
Yeah.
how tall are you? Are you 6'5"?
6'5", yeah.
I nailed it. I knew it. Andre's about 6'2", 6'3". He looks like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
But tell us about that collaboration. You're a board member at a hospital, Florida
Yeah,
Medical
yeah,
Center.
and my time is very valuable to me, and just like the volunteers who give their precious time and talent to the center. So it was really important to me with our collaboration with FMC to that they were culturally proficient, and that they are one of the only 2 hospitals in Broward County that have an HRC Equality Index rating. And the HRC is the Human Rights Campaign Equality Index. And they had to apply for that and actually go through some testing to get that certification. So since I am the CEO of the LGBT Community Center here in South Florida, it was very important to me that they have already achieved that equality index, and so that they are able to provide a safe space and culturally proficient to work with the LGBT community.
That is great news, and I know there was a lot of press last year. Actually, that's how I found out about their collaboration with your organization, because I read it in the newspaper actually. So there was a lot of press on it. In fact, tell us a little bit about you go over to FMC for board meetings. Tell us a little bit how it's changed lately. I noticed they got a new coat of paint on over there. I mean, everything seems to be a little bit shinier since Trey took over. I mean, that's what I get kind of. Well, you visit the campus a lot.
Yeah,
Tell us, is it easy to get in and out of? Or?
Yeah, no. And, at first glance, you might think, oh, my goodness, it's so far away. But it's not. It's a short distance from Wilton Manors. And through our collaboration, I hope that we are able to help embed them in our community in Wilton Manors and prove to the community that they are culturally proficient, they are willing and able and want to work with our community and support it and provide excellent health care. So it's been exciting for me because prior to working at the center, I actually did work in healthcare for 20 plus years. So walking through the hallways, it had this very old familiar feeling, and the staff there are excellent, and they always bring into the board meetings employees who have provided excellent customer service. And so it's really good to see the frontline employees who are doing this wonderful work and to hear their stories and to honor them and recognize them. So it really is a very rewarding experience.
I will tell you, working in healthcare, you have to have a passion to work in healthcare nowadays. And my peers across all different kind of organizations, not just Tenet, because I do meet with a lot of different organizations as well. Some would say they're competitors. When we meet at the South Florida Hospital News Networking Group meeting, and there's no competition. We're just all there to help each other out and learn a little bit more. But whatever you do, from the CEO all the way to the person in the cafeteria, I mean, you got to have a passion to work in healthcare. I will say that.
Absolutely.
And FMC is really, in the last 5.5 years, I've been in healthcare for 5.5 years. I was a newspaper reporter before. they've turned a 360. I'll tell you.
And FMC has really been involved with the Pride Center for a pretty long period of time, and we continue to grow our collaboration. Where actually Trey and a bunch of other employees, I'd say about 20 employees, ran in our Rainbow 5K run, which was in January. And I think Trey got second place in his age group, which he was very surprised at. But then even last week, they sponsored a reception on our campus, and we had over 200 community members come for the Founder Circle reception. And so they got to talk and learn more about FMC and all the services and programs that they provide to the community. And then they come almost every week to our Coffee and Conversation program, which is for the seniors.
Oh, nice.
And then they have also created a team to join our Florida AIDS Walk team on Sunday, March 18th. And there are a number of beneficiaries of that AIDS Walk, and the Pride Center is one of them. So any money that our team raises will actually be doubled by AHF, AIDS Healthcare Foundation. So our goal is to raise $100,000, and then in turn, AHF will match that $100,000, and then that'll go towards our programs and services. But FMC, I think, has a team of 20 people that'll be walking with us on Sunday, March 18th.
And that's the AIDS Walk. Where is that at?
That is on downtown Fort Lauderdale, right on the beach, on A1A. Is
nice
the
area.
Yeah, so it's really rough. We're having to walk along the ocean and the beach, and but it's something that we have to do.
It is really rough this week, though. I mean, there's big waves out there.
Yeah.
Probably March 18th, it's probably going to be
beautiful.
Crystal clear.
It'll be beautiful. Yes.
Well, it's nice right now. It's just the water's a little rough from that nor'easter or whatever's up north.
So
we don't have to worry about that.
So we want everyone to join the Pride Center team, so that way the money that we raise goes back to the center.
And they can just go to the website and find out about it there? Or what's
Yes,
the best
they can. Well, you can go to our website, and there's a link to our team.
Okay, I see it. PrideCenterFlorida.org. Or call the Pride Center, like Mr. Robert Booth said. I have called a few times. I will tell you that is very helpful front desk that you have.
All staffed with volunteers.
I know you're all over the place there during the day, so they got the message to you quick both times I called. They were very friendly, so I do appreciate that. And going back to the Rainbow Run, that was actually my next thing I was going into. Dr. Bella Kovacs, who was on this show in January, he's an internist. Mm-hmm. He ran. I saw him in the picture with you, Trey, and the crew there. And you had your running shoes on. You were running.
I ran it. Yes,
I saw that.
I cycle. I run. I swim. So.
Do you ever do like the triathlons?
I do
or mini?
triathlons.
Oh, you do one?
I'm supposed to be doing one this Sunday, but I can't because my knee's not allowing me to run. So, and I was supposed to do the Fort Lauderdale half marathon, and I couldn't run for it, so I'm a little bummed. But I still cycle.
Nice, I do too, a little bit. I have a Peugeot niece, but it's up in Jupiter. But I live in Boynton. I've moved on to one of those mountain bikes with those huge tires, but they're hard to move.
Yeah,
we won't go into that though. But we're almost up with time. It's hard to believe, but I want to thank you so much for coming on the program. You're always welcome, and like I told you during the break, you got a radio voice. You need your own show, and you're the king of media already. You got a newspaper there. You need a radio show and a video. And I keep on seeing. I'm watching the Pride Center stuff go by, and you got a lot going on March 17th. You got St. Patrick's Day bingo with you're the face of it.
Yeah,
and then there's another thing going by. I'm watching here. It's a big weekend for you.
Yeah, we do have a lot going on with all of the programs and the staff and the Kiki Culture Kiki Project, working with the communities of color. We've got something going on this Saturday night at Sunshine Cathedral. So,
whoa, you're going to Italy?
So yeah, we are doing a fundraiser. You can travel with Robert Boo to Venice, Rome, and Florence. In September, it's going to be a very small, intimate, like 14, 15 people. So I've been to Rome, but I've never been to Florence and Venice, and those are on
I've
my
been to
bucket
Rome,
list.
Milan, Pisa, and Florence, but I will tell you, anyone listen, go to Florence.
Really?
In your lifetime. Please just listen to me. If you're going to listen to me about one thing, it is amazing.
So if you want to go to
They call it
Italy,
Firenze in Italy.
if you want to go to Italy in September with me, go to our website and learn how.
That's fantastic. That is great. You have a lot going on, like I said. I think that's really neat. It's a very active organization, and we love to bring the news out on it. So again, check out the pridecenterflorida.org. Give them a call. I have their number here. It's 954-463-9005. They're at 2040 North Dixie Highway, Wilton Manors. Stop by and say hello. Their hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday for Friday. Monday through Friday, and 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. Mm-hmm. Whoa, 7 days a week you guys are open. That's fantastic.
Yep.
And thanks again for coming on the program. You're always welcome.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be right back on the Living a Longer and Healthier Life show.
You are listening to You and Your Doctor, Living Longer and Healthier, an informative show that helps you find answers to
Hi, I'm Deanna Barron, RN, with All County Healthcare. You know how I know that I've done a good job? We say goodbye. After you understand the medications you take, once you know that gaining 2 pounds in a day means you should call the doctor, when your wound is healed, when you can use your nebulizer all by yourself, when the goals that you and your All County Healthcare team of nurses, therapists, and aides established are met. We say goodbye. Very nice to meet you, and I hope I never see you again. And I mean that in the nicest way possible.
All County Healthcare, Inc. is locally owned and operated, serving the Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward counties for the last 25 years. The practice of medicine is changing dramatically. All County Healthcare, Inc. still does it the old-fashioned way, where our nurses and healthcare professionals come into your home to service your medical needs, providing you the fastest and best care possible. For more information, call 954-717-7027. And remember, Medicare Home Care is covered by Part A of Medicare with no out-of-pocket cost to you. It's your decision, and only your decision, on what healthcare agency you use. Call today. All County Home Health Care, Inc. at 954-717-7027. License 200999096. You are listening to You and Your Doctor, Living Longer and Healthier, an informative show that helps you find answers to questions you always wanted to ask, but did not have that somebody that could make a difference in your life. Call into the show if you have a question at 888-565-1470, and we will put you on the air to inform all our listeners. Now, back to our show.
Got him involved.
Hello, South Florida and beyond, and welcome back to the You and Your Doctor Living a Longer and Healthier Life show. Well, we don't have any doctors on the program today, but we do have, for the American Parkinson's Disease Association South Florida chapter, Rebecca Hihasi.
That's me.
I got your last name right?
Yes, you
I've
did.
been practicing.
He's been practicing.
You gave it to me in phonetics because I asked, and I thought that was awesome.
Oh, no problem.
But we were just talking because we're actually going to be at the same event this Friday.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that it was you who made it happen, because one of my colleagues, so Dr. R.F. Dalvey, who's the medical director of the APDA South Florida chapter, did I get that right?
Correct, yeah.
He's a neurologist that I actually work with. And he tell us a little about, he's working, I don't know the whole gist of it, but he's working with Palm Beach County Fire Rescue to produce Parkinson's disease videos to tell them a little bit about symptoms maybe and awareness.
Correct. So part of our organization, you know, not only do we provide support, information, education, awareness, research. So going along in that education and awareness component, one of our board members knows someone through the Palm Beach Fire Rescue. When she started talking to her, she's a social worker, and she had mentioned how she's on the board of the APDA and what do they do for Parkinson's? And she said, well, not much. We don't really have a lot of education for Parkinson's. So we had a meeting and I got together with them and then heard about some of the medications. So let's say, for example, Palm Beach Fire Rescue would go into somebody's house and the person with Parkinson's is acting erratic, which actually for someone who knows someone with Parkinson's, it could be because their medication is off. Maybe they forgot to take it or maybe they took too much. Well, what Palm Beach Fire Rescue is going to do is probably give them an antipsychotic that is not going to react the best way and is probably going to make their Parkinson's even worse. And basically it's just a reverse effect. And then when we spoke to someone who does the education, he said, honestly, I know nothing about Parkinson's. And with numbers wise, there's 60,000 people diagnosed every year. That's every 9 minutes. That means someone is diagnosed. So it's a huge disservice. So when we were chatting, I said, oh my gosh, I'm the perfect person who would talk about this, Dr. Dalby. So Dr. Dalby came out and I said, hey, listen, we kind of put together a small little script. You're basically going to do these little vignettes. So it's 10 minutes that talks just about Parkinson's disease and just straight to the point. Like if you see someone with Parkinson's, here's what you need to do, the pharmacology of it. What do you do with the DBS? Because maybe a lot of people would know, can we resuscitate them? Can we shock them? And so he's going to go over that. There's a duopa tube that's out. Do we push it back in if it's falling out? So just like little tidbits. So she shot the 10-minute video on Friday. So this Friday, March 9th, this little private event that they're having, but Palm Beach Fire Rescue and the American Parkinson's Disease Association is there to show that we have a partnership. So they're going to make then anyone fire rescue watch this video as far as their education, and then they're going to put it up on YouTube, and then hopefully other people will utilize this, and that will be their tool to educate other fire rescue.
Nice. That is a fantastic collaboration.
Right? Yeah.
Definitely. And I'm actually the photographer for the event. If all checks out, I'm going through a little approvals right now.
Okay.
But if all checks out, maybe you'll see my photos or press release, or if you do one out after Friday's event. Like you said, it's a private event because it's the Palm Beach County Fire Rescue personnel are going to see the video first.
Correct.
But then, like you said, it's going to be broadcasted to the public on YouTube.
Correct. They're inviting commissioners, and I think that they're also doing a press release. So I'll definitely pass it on to you and just let people know this is another great way for APDA to bring out Parkinson's awareness. So something very cool and exciting.
You do so much. I mean, we always say that in the program, and you have so much going on. What a great organization. And as well, you guys have a great website as well, which I'll give out a few times. One of the reasons I wanted to have you on, too, is because you have a big walk coming up, the Optimism Walk.
I do. I actually have. Hold on.
Oh, nice.
I even brought visuals.
Sweet.
Wait. There it is, people. I know you can't see it, but you get the hint. You get the hint. You get the hint.
But they can grab the flyers out in the community. Or on the website as well, right?
On the website, yep. Saturday, March 24th, Tradewinds Park at the Atala Shelter. Registration-wise, we're definitely higher than last year. We're about, I think, 108 the last time I checked today. Sponsorship is still going strong. We're at 18,000. Would love 6,000 more, but you know how that goes. And we just got to push for registration. We're hoping to have over 300 people. Last year, we had 283. So we're hoping that we'll get some more people out there. We're going to have a lot of great sponsor tables. The JORTC from Coconut Creek's going to be out there. We are possibly going to have some pet therapy out there. We're going to have clowns on call. The walk itself is 3 miles. If you want to do it, you don't have to do it. I do have a few people biking it. I do have a few people running it, but it is not a timed event. It's more, spreading awareness, letting people know it's a walk for people with Parkinson's. Sometimes that can be very, very hard for them. So anyone interested, Saturday, March 24th, Tradewinds Park in Coconut Creek.
Yeah, and it's a great park. I actually used to work right around the corner. A lot of people don't know I used to work at Forum Publishing Group, which used to be on Green Road, which is right around the corner there from Tradewinds Park. So that I used to always go to the park as well. And
Butterfly World's there. Yeah. I mean, it's horse stables across the street. And then that's the park also that does the big Christmas event or something. I
think it's a bicycle. The kids can come out on their bicycles and bicycle around.
Something. They go crazy there.
I've seen that as well. And a great time in mid-March to get out. Later March to get out and stretch your legs. And like it's not a timed event, but I have a ton of doctors on this show, and they said the best thing you can do is, walk around and move and get your joints moving. That's what's going to keep you healthy when you do that on a regular basis. And here you have a chance to go out and meet a whole bunch of people. I mean, you're expecting hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah,
so,
hoping for 300. That's what we're pushing for.
You're going to get it. I know you are, because you're having quite a year. You had the symposium. Which
killed it.
Yeah,
it
was
did.
huge in Delray Beach, right?
Yes. Actually, it was in Boca.
Oh, Boca this year. Okay,
it was at
I'm
Boca
sorry.
this year. Nope, yep, you're right. It was Delray last year.
It was the Boca Marriott.
Correct.
Okay, I got that part right.
Yes, no, it was the Boca Marriott. That was huge. Amazing keynote speaker. Actually had to stop registration. Should have actually done it beforehand. We actually had standing room only with a few of the breakout sessions, but overall, some people weren't very happy. That's what I said. I was like, listen, hey, I'm sorry, I apologize, but this is for $20. This is an amazing group of people that are here.
The panel.
Yes.
Whoa.
Everything was super great. I mean, Dr. Dalby was there to speak again. Dr. Zucker was there. Dr. Rao from LSU. Dr. Chabria from the Parkinson's Movement Center. I mean, there was a ton of people there. It was great. It was very informative.
The listeners and viewers will remember Dr. R.F. Dalby is the neurologist, specializes in deep brain stimulation programming. You said DBS before. That's the acronym. And then Dr. Lloyd Zucker was on the program December 5th. If you want to check out that program, go to allcountyhealthcare.com. They got a radio show tab. You can find it there. He talked about neurosurgery because he's one of the top neurosurgeons in the area. And I know he's on staff at Delray Medical Center. I want to say he's on staff at Boca Regional around the corner as well.
Yeah.
So that's great. And he was on the program. What a fascinating interview that was. That man is super smart, as most doctors are.
So down to earth too.
Yeah, and he has an infectious laugh.
He does.
He sat right in that chair and laughed and smiled like you do and our previous guest. So it makes it a lot easier to kind of get the great information out when you have great guests like that. So we have Rebecca here until 7 o'clock, a little before, 888-565-1470 if you have any questions about that walk. Or I'm on your website, which is actually the apdaparkinson.org Community South Florida website. Yep. So if you just Google APDA South Florida, you're going to find it. Or if you want to type it in, like I said, apdaparkinson.org /community/South Florida as well. Now, that's a great website. There's a ton of info. And right there, like you said at the beginning, the Optimism Walk is coming up. I hear a phone call coming in. We may have a caller, but we'll see what happens there.
Okay.
That'd be
right.
great.
Okay.
But let's talk a little bit. You told us that someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. You said earlier every 9 minutes in the U.S. Is that the U.S.? Or?
Yeah, that's
wow.
Yeah, in the United States, it's about 1 million people in the United States. They say worldwide about 5 million, and again, that's just people who report it.
Oh,
so imagine
some people don't know. They may not.
Some people don't know about it, or maybe some people can't afford to have the insurance to go get diagnosed. So yeah, it's every 9 minutes, and then for a month it's 5,000 a month. Days, it's every 6 days someone's diagnosed, and then as I said, every 9 minutes someone's diagnosed. So so what'll happen 3 times? I'm not very good with the math. No, 3 times. My dad would be so proud. It's 27. So it's gonna happen 3 times while we're talking. Somebody's been diagnosed. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. How prevalent it is. And
then most of your job, I know, is running the organization, but also the awareness out, because sure, we know a little bit about Parkinson's. I think we always think to Michael J. Fox and the great work he's done, and great physicians like Dr. Dalby and Dr. Zucker and the others in the community that you had on your panel, but a lot of people really don't know. And you were mentioning how some first responders, they know of it, but they don't know the actual telltales or symptoms, like you said, that Dr. Dalby's making the video for. So, I mean, how much of it nowadays is awareness to get, out about Parkinson's disease? The information, I'm always looking to try to speak or do anything for Parkinson's, to do an educational event or come speak. I'm actually speaking somewhere
on Thursday at a assisted living facility. I was at a support group today. And just to try to take away those myths and debunk those things. Like a woman today had talked about how she's diagnosed with Parkinson's, but now also has this terrible disease called dyskinesia. And that's not a disease. Dyskinesia means you have too much of the medication in your system. Those are those funky movements. So if you're working with your neurologist, you can make sure that those medications work out so that you're not having those dyskinesias. And she was just so confused and didn't understand. So it's just really trying to, I like to be out there more, even as an advocate, just that someone they can come up and talk to me, or someone called me and had mentioned her husband was diagnosed with Parkinson's, but she might think he has dementia. They were, she's telling me the story for like 30 minutes on the phone. They were in a grocery store. He forgot where he was. He forgot what it was. So I referred to a neuropsychologist, talk to your doctor. Maybe there are some cognitive things going on. And I think it just, things happen and they just don't have anyone to talk to. So I think that's what's great about our organization is we're very grassroots. We do have that 800 number where people can call. And if they have problems or if they have questions, they're here. That's what we're here for. I'm out in the community a lot. I'm trying to do whatever I can to raise awareness and let people know, about Parkinson's.
Let's give out that 800 number. I think I have it right here, 800-825-2732.
That is
I choose
correct.
the right one?
Yep,
okay.
that is correct.
Because there is a national headquarters as well. But let's get you to the South Florida chapter so you can find, like you said, you're an advocate in this community, but you have a ton of resources. And one of the great points you made was that lady needed help with management of her medicines, and that's something you kind of helped out. It just needed maybe a little tweak in the management of the medicines can help, and I'm going to get this wrong, dyskinesia?
Dyskinesia, yes,
Whoa,
I'm yeah, look at you. He's like, I'm on fire.
Yeah, I practice a lot of phonetics. So let's hold that thought. And on the other side, I'm going to talk with Rebecca a little bit more about the APDA and the South Florida chapter on the Living a Longer and Healthier Life show.
All County Healthcare, Inc. is locally owned and operated, serving the Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward counties for the last 25 years. The practice of medicine is changing dramatically. All County Healthcare, Inc. still does it the old-fashioned way, where our nurses and healthcare professionals come into your home to service your medical needs, providing you the fastest and best care possible. For more information, call 954-717-7027. And remember, Medicare Home Care is covered by Part A of Medicare with no out-of-pocket cost to you. It's your decision, and only your decision, on what healthcare agency you use. Call today. All County Home Health Care, Inc. at 954-717-7027. License 200999096.
Hi, my name is Deanna Barron. I'm an RN with All County Healthcare. I used to work for this huge corporate-owned home health agency, and I was always worried that they wouldn't let me make enough nursing visits to be sure that your wound was fully healed, or that you were completely comfortable checking your husband's blood sugar level and giving him the correct dose of insulin, or that your mom's lingering cough was the end of her bronchitis, not the beginning of a new episode. The owner of All County Healthcare always says, give the patient what they need, and he means it. At All County Healthcare, I see my patients until their goals are met, and I never worry. I hope you never need a nurse to come to your home, but if you do, tell your doctor, I want All County Healthcare.
You are listening to You and Your Doctor, Living Longer and Healthier, an informative show that helps you find answers to questions you always wanted to ask, but did not have that somebody that could make a difference in your life. Call into the show if you have a question at 888-565-1470, and we will put you on the air to inform all our listeners. Now, back to our show.
And we're back on the You and Your Doctor show, Living a Longer and Healthier Life. We brought you two great organizations today on the show, and the second of which is American Parkinson's Disease Association South Florida chapter, APDA. We have their community development director here, Rebecca Hayesi, and you are based Broward, Palm Beach, Miami-Dade, all three, all South Florida. I mean, what is your region?
Yeah,
Everything?
it just keeps growing. I actually will go up to the Treasure Coast a little. Well, I say Treasure, and then I realized it's like above Vero, and I'm like, that's too far. So I do like Port St. Lucie, Stewart, because I'm by myself.
Okay.
It's just me. So primarily up there. Don't do too much in Miami-Dade, but more recently helped with the deep brain stimulation support group at Baptist Health with Dr. Gallo, Dr. Bruno Gallo.
Neat.
So they wanted to start a DBS support group, wanted a little bit of help from the community. So I'm working with them, and also brought in the Brain Center from Miami and Baptist Health. And we had our first, they're doing it quarterly, and we just had our first one last month. So
Nice.
had a decent amount of people out there. We'll be doing it again, and look forward to helping out with that too. So that's what I've doing down in Miami.
You've always been super strong here in Broward and Palm Beach as well.
Very much.
That's where I met you and right here. Talk a little bit about ways I guess people can get involved with the APDA South Florida, and also if they can ways to give. Maybe they don't have the time or maybe the energy, but they have the means to help out a great organization. Let's find out about that.
Sure. Well, as I said, I'm a one-person program, so the more the help, the merrier. A lot of the times, activities-wise, we have committees. So like for the walk, we had a walk planning committee, and people helped with putting together teams, maybe finding some little incentive prizes, helped with marketing, always looking for new, wonderful board members to really help continue the mission throughout the year. If you're just looking to volunteer for maybe in the office or at support groups, if you have the background in facilitating support groups, always looking for people to help out with support groups. So those are really the volunteer aspects that I look for or am able to help people out with. Some other ways, if you can't volunteer your time and you have the means, which is fantastic, you're able to donate. You can go to our website and donate on our website. We take, checks. We do credit cards. I will do the old-fashioned cash. I've picked that up before from somebody. They're like, here you go. And
Cash
I'm
is
like, I
king.
will take that $21. Thank you so much. So, we'll take anything. A lot of people also do have things like in a trust. There's also things that when, somebody passes away, you can do something that way. You work with an elder law attorney. So there's lots of different ways, third-party events. We actually have a third-party event up in North Palm Beach. Oh, I'm terrible with the date. I think it's March 23rd that someone's putting on this event, and we're going to get part of the proceeds. So there's a ton of different ways to help us. I heard someone else is doing something up in Palm Beach at Lord and Taylor. So, I mean, there's a lot of things. I just always want to, if anything, give people my blessing and make sure that they know support-wise we're here, and that, how can we help and what can I do? I can always make sure that we send out some, targeted emails and do whatever we need.
You stay busy. I was just telling the other guests that,
so
but
busy.
you are. So I'm going through your website, and it's like one after another. Dance for PD, deep brain stimulation support groups, care partners support groups.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not at all of these things. However, I'm overseeing
Yeah,
and
you have
checking
your-
in with them and seeing what they
Managing it.
need and helping. But yes, and along with that, we have our 800 number, so information referrals, and the National has webinars and teleconferences that they want us to tell people about. And then we have educational materials that people can get for free.
They can put them in their clubhouse or their
doctor's I always
doctor's
send
offices.
Dr. Dalby, I typically send him some things on once a month, drop some stuff off at Dr. Alejandro Velez at Holy Cross. They
Nice.
like to have our materials also. So try to work closely with some of the doctors who are, movement disorder specialists, kind of gear them in, because again, I can't be talking to all the general neurologists, even though it'd be lovely. Just to kind of let them know that we're here. Exactly. Do you want our materials in your office? It's a great way, one, to just educate the public, but then it also lets them know that APD is around and lets them know about Parkinson's too. So
Nice. And you mentioned the general neurologist. One time I pulled a mailing list for all the general neurologists in South Florida. I was amazed at how many there were.
Thousands.
I want to say it was over 5,000. I think I pulled for Lake, Palm Beach, the Treasure Coast, Broward, and Miami-Dade, and that's it. I don't even think I went over to Naples or Tampa. Tampa has a huge Tampa General.
thousands.
That's a huge hospital.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. Before I got into healthcare, I couldn't even tell you what a neurologist did. Now I know about interventional neurologists. You mentioned a neuropsychologist. We had one on the program, Dr. Rhonda Freeman, recently. There's just so much going on with
Subspecialty. Do you know there's a neuro-ophthalmologist?
We have one at Sunrise Medical Group. I've been trying to get him on. So he looks at
Dr. K?
Ramesh Gopalaswamy. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I feel like I've heard that name. Okay, yeah.
But I know I've heard of Dr. K as well. But they actually look behind the eye for how neurologic disorders in the eye and the brain. That's kind of their specialty.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what I always say, fascinating. I'm like, what? I had no idea. There's always like a subspecialty within a subspecialty. People, again, in groups would talk about, I have, eye issues. And I'd say, listen, there is someone called a neuro-ophthalmologist. They're like, what? I'm like, I know. Who would have thought? I mean, there's just so many subspecialties. It's amazing.
But without people like you, we wouldn't know anything about neuro-ophthalmologists or neuropsychologists or interventional neurologists that grab the blood clot out of the brain during a stroke.
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of one, or aneurysms, those kind of things. But there's people like you bringing awareness, so that's great. And we wouldn't know so much about Dr. Dalvey, deep brain stimulation, which is a huge new technique for Parkinson's disease. And you were mentioning the pump, the duopa. I kind of got it wrong, duodopa.
No, it's
something
all right.
like that.
We have good names for all the drugs. They're most people call the carbidopa levodopa. So that's the normal Cinemat. We have one gentleman, I love him. He calls it carbidopa levodopa dopa. You know, the dopa
I get it. We have just about a minute, so I'm going to give out your info and thank you again for coming on the show. Again, Rebecca Hayesi, Community Development Director, American Parkinson's Disease Association South Florida Chapter. They're on Facebook, Twitter, so like them and follow them. 800-825-2732. And I do have the website, apdaparkinson.org/community South Florida. Thanks again for coming on the program. You're always welcome if you ever have to get the info out.
Wonderful. Thank you, David.
Thank you, and have a good night, South Florida. Perfect.
Thank you for letting us share with you a longer and healthier lifestyle. If you have a doctor or are a doctor and wish to be on the show, call AMP2 TV at 866-244-5422, and we will put you on the air as soon as possible. Tune in next week for more information on living longer and having a healthier life. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.